Yo, what's up, y'all? Christian here, and today I'm going to be recording a video on my journey or my story, right? Which I'm basically just going to be talking about where I was like before I started doing all this like self-improvement, motivational content, stuff like that, because I'm sure that y'all would want to listen to that. If you're going to watch through my channel, I'm sure that y'all would want to hear that. And I haven't really done a video like this. I probably won't do them often, but I'm sure I'll do them here and there, just to like keep y'all up to date on like what's going on in my life and stuff that I'm doing, so that way y'all can relate to it and hopefully do the same thing I'm doing, which is trying to be the best version of myself, which is honestly the best thing I've done in my life, and it's the best thing I'm gonna continue to do day in, day out, right? So to start, I want to say that I really started from a very directionless path. I didn't really have or felt like I had anywhere to go, at least, just because of the situation I was in. And that situation would be probably when I was like younger. I'd say like 12, 13, somewhere in the like those ages. And I'm 19 now. But when I was a lot younger, I normally would not really care about my, like, what I wanted to do or anything like that. Like in fifth grade, I kind of just dropped off, didn't really work at all in school for my grades. I kind of just let them plummet. And part of that was because my parents had divorced. And I was kind of just dealing with that. And I also didn't really care much about school at the time. What's funny is that I actually was in school, and my dad he offered me, I think it was an iPhone 7. It was either, I think it was an iPhone 6 Plus or iPhone 7 Plus. To be honest, I think that's the only iPhone I've ever owned in my life. Now I've had an Android and I stick with that. I don't think I'll ever switch back to Apple. It's just my preference. But he offered me that phone, and basically it was to graduate fifth grade because my grades were so bad that he's like, if you graduate fifth grade, I will give you this phone. I was like, okay. So he shows up to the graduation, because we had a graduation for my fifth grade. I'm not sure if all y'all have that or not. But he shows up and he gives me the phone because I ended up graduating even with bad grades. And then I went on to middle school, 6th, 7th, I think also 8th grade. I think 6th I did pretty bad. Like, I still really didn't care. 7th and honestly 8th, I kind of just coasted through middle school. Like, I didn't really try. And then that was all the way, so basically all the way from 5th grade to 9th grade, I was doing terrible in school. Like, absolutely terrible. In 9th grade, I had a 1.3 GPA. That is so bad. I'm sure most of y'all know what that is, but that is so bad. That this is like way below average, right? I mean, it's like the average of the person like me who sleeps in class. And basically, I got to that stand just by playing video games. I was addicted to playing video games for a very long time. And the time before that, when I was like, I want to say 14 to 16, probably like 14 to 17, I was also going outside all the time, hanging out with friends, doing things. Like, I think there was one time that I I've done a ton of dumb things. I probably shouldn't disclose that on video. Like, I've like thrown rocks places where they shouldn't go, and just been out on the streets with my friends. Like, what are you gonna do late at night? Like, I've done a ton of things that I shouldn't do, and just been really off path. I didn't really feel like I had a sense of direction because I didn't stay around my parents because I didn't want to be home, and it's like, once my mom had left, because she left when I was like, I want to say 14. That's kind of when my mom kind of left my life for the most part. Like, she was there, and like it was like a divorced parent situation. So I could go over to her house, I could stay with my dad. I was like split, so I can go both ways. I usually chose to stay with my dad more because I could be outside more. When I was with my mom, she usually wanted me to be there. So yeah, basically I went into that. I know this video is not really structured, and it's because I don't talk about this stuff like very often or ever. So basically I'm trying to like construct it in my head as I talk about it. So once I was done with that situation, I pretty much coasted away from my mom because she ended up getting into a situation where I couldn't go over there. I couldn't see her. I was like, okay, well, it is how it is. I can't really do anything about that. So then I kind of started focusing on school and like a little bit after ninth grade. And I got into 10th grade, which should have been in 2019, I'm pretty sure, because I graduated the year of 22. I was in 10th grade and I was kind of trying. I always still had like that average minimum effort in school. I never really tried. Like, I was the type of kid who stayed up and played video games all night, went into school 6 in the morning, either got no sleep or 2 hours of sleep. And sometimes I go to school right after I stay up all night. I pass out as soon as I get back from school, do the same thing over again, repeat it, skip school like the whole day sometimes, not even go to school. As soon as there is an exam that I can't exempt because my grades are too low, I'm walking out of school, right? I'm not going to the exam because I don't want to sit there through an exam that I have to do. So half the times I just walk out. And just like a disclaimer, I don't recommend this to anyone. Don't take this video as like, oh, this is my advice, I should go do this. I'm just telling y'all how it is, what I was like as a kid. And if y'all can relate to this, that's awesome. If not, so be it. Everybody has their different paths. I'm just telling it to y'all so y'all can listen. So basically, right, after that, I got into this is like 10th grade, right? So COVID had hit pretty much like a little bit through 10th grade, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's when it was. It was a little bit through 10th grade, or at least that's when I remember it hitting. And I had ended up getting with this girl because, bro, I was thirsty as hell. Like, I cannot even lie. That's not the only reason I got with her, but I look back at it now and, like, when you don't have any girls, that's kind of what just happens, so you just end up getting in a relationship. And I didn't really have any morals. I didn't really care about myself. I didn't really, I still worked out because ever since I was like 12, I had a like skinny pack, like the little skinny abs, the 6-pack. I was like, oh, might as well work out. Girls are going to like it, right? So that was the mentality of me then. And so I ended up getting in this relationship for like a year and a half. And as I was going through that relationship, there was like a ton of things that flipped up and hit the fan. And like, it got to a point where I was loving this girl so much, right? And like, she wasn't really giving that back. She was like having her friends over here and like saying that she loved me, stuff like this and that. And I can talk about it openly, but then, bro, that shit, like, it hurt, bro. It hurt just sitting there, knowing that I felt like I had no other option, no other place to go, no other place to be. Like, she was the only thing that I could see in my life. And I kind of laugh at it now, but she was the only thing I could see, the only path that I thought I could take. The only thing, that's it, was her. And when she left, dude, I had a whole shift. Once she finally left and we were done, because there's like a little thing after where like she's like, oh, we can be friends with benefits. I was like, oh yeah, let's be friends with benefits so I can still be in your life. Yeah, no, that never happened. And to be honest, saying that now, I'm not surprised it never happened. Why would she have wanted to be with him? The guy that I was. It wouldn't have made sense. Like, in the best world possible, sure, but to be honest, I'm glad that she broke up with me. I am glad that she broke up with me. I'm glad that I went through the relationship. It was still a pretty good relationship. Of course there was ups and downs, but it was overall my longest relationship is still a pretty good relationship. So I have no hate on that. And it's part of the reason why I'm here today. It's part of the reason why I'm here today. So honestly, it was good for me. I respect it, and I've done my fair amount of grieving for it, so I'm chilling. This is obviously going to be a long video. If y'all have made it this far, then I'm sure you realize that. I'm hoping to cut it off by like 15 minutes. At like 15 minutes. It's going to be on one of my longer videos, obviously, since it is like my whole life story, But anyways, off track there. Point being, I went from that relationship to being as depressed as I could have ever been. because I was already depressed throughout COVID. I was already depressed in that relationship, and I just kind of kept scaling, and then like fluctuating, like, oh, I'm better, oh, I'm not, oh, like it just kept like waving up and down. And then once she broke up with me, dude, this shit went like through the roofs. There's multiple times I thought like, I'm done. I don't want to do this shit no more, right? And even saying that now, it's like, I can feel that. Like, I can seriously feel that, because at the time, I felt like I had nothing. I felt like I had nothing, absolutely nothing. Like, there was nothing I could do with my life at that point in time. So then, after that, I basically was hanging out at my friend's house. He was literally with me through the breakup. W-Mans for that. W-Mans. I'm not going to say his name on here, but he knows who he is. He was with me through the breakup, and I respect him for that so much. It means so much to me. And like, we had gone and like lit fireworks on 4th of July, because that's the day that she broke up with me. And we still went and lit fireworks. I had like threw my phone on the ground at one point. I was like, man, whatever. Don't care about it. I stayed at his place for a little bit longer, and then after that I went back home. Still was a little bit depressed, but I swear, if I was not at his place, bro, I would have been in a lot worse of a situation than I was. That's why you should always have people, because like, when you can't be there for yourself as much as you should be, it just is not easy, man. And there's tons of people who go through that without someone by their side, or like without someone to help them, and it just makes it a lot harder than it has to be, So basically, to shorten it up a little bit and try to get to that 15-minute mark without pushing past that too much, that happened. After that, I had finally like went into Marine training, and then I went into Marine training. Eventually ended up finding out recently that I didn't really want to go into the Marines, because I know, like, if you're dedicated to that type of thing, sure, do it. 100% do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, go and do it. Whatever it is you want to do it. But just know that if you're going to go into the military, that is definitely a, what do you call that? It's something you have to be dedicated to, something you have to want to do with your whole self. Don't just say, oh, whatever, I'm going to the military, because that's what I was going to do. And then I had found out that it wasn't for me. It wasn't something that I should be like, oh, whatever, because I have a life, bro. We all have a life. If you want to live your life, bro. Don't go to the military because they want you there. Go to the military because you want to go there. And that doesn't mean doubt what you're doing, but just know full-heartedly that you want to go in the military. Know full-heartedly that you want to do this and you want to get it done, right? Before you just flip the switch and go do it, because when you get to a certain age, especially when you're already an adult, like past 18, these decisions, these choices that you make, they have value. And sometimes they can decide majority of your life. Like, you go in the military, that can be an 8-year, 12-year, 16-year dedication if you don't get into the right hands or the right places. Sometimes, it takes time. And I value my time, so I just want to be on the right path, right? And doing what I should be doing. So basically, after that, I left the military training. I've always worked out. I've always, but there was a point where I just looked in the mirror after like a certain amount of time, just because I was like working out on and off. I wasn't really sticking to what I was saying I was going to do. And even now, I have problems. Even now, everybody has problems. Everybody has, like imperfections. Nobody's perfect in this world, right? So even me, I have my problems. I have my inconsistencies. I have my procrastinations. I have things that I don't do a certain way, and I wish I did do them that way. So I'm practicing to be the best that I possibly can at what I do, and hopefully learning more skills in the future, right? So I had looked in the mirror, and I was like, bro, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't settle for the bare minimum. Like, I'm trying to be the best that I possibly can. I have a TikTok that supports this, this mentality. I want to do a YouTube channel. I have an Instagram that's also kind of motivational. I cannot preach this stuff and not do it. Like, I have to do it. And even if I wasn't preaching it, I still need to do it as a path to myself, because I simply am on this path. I'm on this road, right? And in order to continue, I have to continue to do this. every day, day in, day out, even if it hurts, even if it's hard, even if it's not it doesn't feel like it's doing anything sometimes. Of course I know I'm getting better, but sometimes it just feels like you're not going anywhere, but you are, right? And that's the best part, is about that mentality switch. You gotta have the mentality switch. If you don't have that mentality switch, no matter who you are, no matter where you came from, no matter what story you have, if you don't have that mentality switch, you're gonna be stuck there, bro. And you're not gonna go anywhere. That's the worst part. So I just want to let y'all know, this is my story. This is where I'm gonna be ending off the video. I just wanted to put it out there and preach to y'all basically that I didn't have a perfect life either. I'm sure there's people who had it way worse than me. But everybody has their problems, and everybody solves them differently and goes about them differently and changes their life in different ways. Just try your best to change your life for the better. I will see y'all in the next video. Stay posted. What I usually say. Stay posted on my channel, stuff like that. Keep focusing on yourself and stay motivated. Stay disciplined. Peace, y'all.